Yo, welcome back to another video. And guess what? Today I'm not doing another video about KSI. Today I'll be doing a series called where I be making simple trap beats. But the catch is that I'll be only using FL Studio stock plugins. Yes, that's right. I'll be using only plugins that come from FL Studio. Because I feel like a lot of producers always complain about not having good good plugins to use for their beats, like for example maybe like Omnisphere or Heat Up. And I think that shouldn't be the mindset people be having over about when it comes to making beats. I think they should use with what they have and use it to the best of their abilities. And I think even though this is definitely not one of the better beats, because I'm not the best producer in the world, but I know a couple of things when it comes to producing. I'm not like on the level of Nick Mira or or Jetson or TM88, that type of guys. But I would say I have a good knowledge when it comes to making beats, and I'm gonna show you a simple trap beat. But the thing is that all the sounds that I use are from obviously the FL Studio stock plugins. So the first thing I got was actually from Morphine. I basically used this flute sound, and basically this is what I came up with. That's basically how it sounds. If you want to know how I made it repeat, I cut over this part, just repeat it, just to add some transition effect to the verse part. And if we look at what we have, we add some free limiter, some EQ, a little bit of delay, unstable. If you don't know what plugin is this is actually like kind of like a free version or a worse version of RC20. There's nothing wrong with unstable, but it's obviously not as good as RC20. But it's it's definitely a good plugin, especially for it being free. I mean, come on. And we also have some fruity reverb. And yeah, that's basically the flute part. Now if we move on to the pads. This pad was from Sakura, the plugin Sakura, and it's if you listen to it, it's very spacious as well. So yeah, that's basically the intro for the pads. If we look at what I've included, I also include some fruity limiter, some EQ as well, some delay as well. However, I add some Valhalla Supermassive, just to make it more echoey and kind of like long decays, and actually add some sound equalizer. Now if we can play both these instruments together, this is how the intro would sound like, basically. So yeah, that's basically the intro section. If we move on to the next part for the verse section, I actually pitch both the instruments down over here, and yeah, this is how just to create some contrast in the song. So if we just start, I guess, from here to the verse, this is how it sounds like. chorus just the same as this one. And if we move on to the drum section, I've included just a really simple drum pattern, you know, that is, you know, very very simple, nothing too complicated going on, and you know, just really, it's just the purpose of this drum pattern was just to really keep the groove of this song. And if we play from here, this is how it sounds like. Some close hi-hat, clap, some percussion, and obviously 808. And yeah, that's basically like kind of like the verse part of it. If we move on to the chorus section, I actually for this part I've reverted both the instrument backs to its original pitch, and actually did some a little bit of panning for each side. So the flute went a little bit to the right side. It panned to the right side, and the pad panned a little bit to the left side. And in terms of the drums, you know, the drums are pretty much the same as last time. Of course, I had, since I pitched both the instruments to its original position, I had to kind of like correct the 808s into the same key as both the instruments, you know, so it doesn't sound off key. So if we start maybe from here, will be the verse, and then we'll switch over to the chorus section. I basically cut up these two parts and basically just switch it over, you know, just to add some contrast. Again, it's very important that you add some contrast and make sure that your beat doesn't sound repetitive. And yeah, that's basically the whole entire beat. Obviously this is not like the full beat. Obviously you probably should add more, like maybe even a bridge, or just add the verse again, like here, just repeat over here, and then the chorus again. But this is basically the general structure of the entire beat, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, even though obviously it's not like as good as like the levels of Nick Mira or TM-88 or Judson, but I think it's overall is a very, you know, good beat in terms of how the instruments and the drums mesh well with each other. And yeah, and until then guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.